Jerry Young and Shawn Wright. And gentlemen, don't hate me for what I'm about to read. The guys provided it.
And you can shorten it a lot.
I'm just going to read the first sentence, because this is like a novel.
Yeah,
Jerry Wright has been part of the profession of architecture since 1982, and his focus is a career almost exclusively on public school districts across the northeastern United States.
that's enough. Shawn Wright.
I got to listen to the speaker. I will admit that he does hold professional licenses throughout the Michigan, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey as well. Shawn, also a professionally registered architect with the state of New York. He has been involved in the field of architecture and project management since 1992. He worked on a variety of projects in the areas of retail, commercial, and industrial, adult housing, K through 12. Shawn, yeah, okay. As partner in charge on project delivery, Shawn deals in all aspects of architectural projects, from programming concepts through construction, and he specializes in construction details, code compliance, and document coordination. It's my pleasure to introduce Jerry and Shawn, who, now that I know what they're going to talk about, it's going to be fantastic.
She started it already. All right. This 6-minute story started in October 2015 when I went to the Buffalo City public auction. And the speaker, the auctioneer, said this property, if for sale at 50 Elk, is scheduled for demolition. It is going to be knocked down. Do I have an opening bid of $5,000? And I said yes and ran out. We bought a building with rotten steel, a collapsed roof, brick falling down, and a cursed little doll that was part of the whole presentation. It fell out of a hopper. It does have a little voodoo on the back, which would explain why we're taking so long to get our building permit. I think this little doll is what's hurting us.
So we're located at the corner, it's actually called 50 Elk Street, for those of you who are wondering where it is. It's actually the corner of Van Rensselaer and South Park Avenue in South Buffalo. We refer to it actually from our maps over here as the corner of Larkinville and what we hope to be Pagulaville in the near future. Okay?
Anything that could have been stolen in the 30 years it was abandoned was stolen. Anything that wasn't stolen was painted. There was graffiti throughout the building. Some of it better than others. As you can see, those were tanks that Shawn's going to talk about. One of those becomes a conference room as we go forward. Some pretty ugly graffiti, and then there was some beautiful graffiti. Chuck Tingley is a local artist, and we found this on his website, so you can tell that he signed it 777 for all 3 of those, and we're going to try to maintain some of the graffiti that's in the building. But it was, there's some really ugly graffiti too, so I thought I'd tell you.
So these are some views from the roof. It's actually the 40th tallest building in Buffalo. Of the 21 grain elevators that we've been kind of studying and following in Buffalo, it's actually the 7th tallest. And so far, I believe it's one of only 2 that's not attached to a waterway. This was only accessible by truck and by rail car.
The timeline, the only thing I'm going to tell you is the Kreiners, who are the people, we have their logbook there from dating from 1807, had real nerve because in the middle of Prohibition, they built this, spending $1.2 million. That's the Kreiner family. I had a great-grandson, great-granddaughter, and a great-great-grandson at the building. Okay, moving on. I'm going to talk a little bit about malting. 20 seconds goes a lot faster than I thought. This is some of the equipment that didn't get stolen because it's too big to haul out of there, but it really talks about the shipping leg on the conveyor with the belts, and all of that's there. We have a shipping, we have the railroad on one side and the truck on the other. So this is the original 1800 building. This is the piece that was done in 1926, and this piece was done in 1930. That's an architectural engineering record of the whole idea of the grain elevators. You can look at the shipping and receiving. The next part is the steeping, which is, you look at the 9 steps to convert barley into malt. Steeping took place on the 2nd level. It had 6 large tanks, 4 days. They filled up each of those tanks and drained them. Took the barley from 12% to 45%. It then dropped down to do germination. So it dropped through the floor down into the germination troughs, which is the next slide. I got ahead of the thing. The germination troughs, there's 6 of them that are on the bottom there. We're leaving 4 of the augers, yeah, going along there. When I talked to the grandson, he told me how he used to run through the germination as part of this when he was visiting the site there. So this is all part of it. This is the original picture. This is the drying building. The floors literally fold, so fall from the top level to the next level to the next level down into those hoppers. That's the whole part of malting. So you take it, you wet it, it germinates, you then heat it to stop it, and you have malt for beer, which is a great thing.
So this is our proposed site. Back in 1926, when the majority of this work was being done, which was in the middle of Prohibition, by the way, there were actually 27 houses that surrounded this site all the way around. And this is the view that most people recognize from the 190 of the Buffalo Malt silo there. So these are our floor plans. I'll mention now that we do have space available. It's a space in the yellow, so if anybody's looking for a great place, this is a good place to start. But our main floor concerns just a common area, an event center, and the undeveloped silos, which we're leaving undeveloped at the request of SHPO at this point in time. This is our offices on the 2nd floor. I know it's tough to see, but in the middle there's a circle, and that's one of those steeping tanks that we're keeping is part of our conference area. And we're working for an open concept for our office plan, the flex seating type of concept, that type of thing. And we'll be taking over the entire 2nd floor and hopefully moving in a couple of months. On our 3rd floor, if I haven't mentioned, we have space available. We have 2 apartments. We have a loft apartment and a 2-bedroom apartment that will be up in the drying building, both with some roof access, and we're hoping to take a little bit more of the roof for ourselves as well. And the 4th and 5th floor are still open. So these are some of the elevations that we've generated from the existing, and you can kind of see we're trying to maintain as much of the existing equipment out there and maintain the look of the building as we can. There's a few things that have to go, like that big gray thing in the upper right-hand corner.
It's almost gone.
It's on its way down now. So much of it is coming down. We have a website, Silos at Elk Street, if you're interested in following us or if you're interested in any of the space available. We will be putting progress photos up there because starting next week will be full-blown construction through the rest of the year and hopefully not too far into the upcoming year. So
that's a malt bag that the grandson also brought to me. And the cursed owl, if anybody wants to see a cursed owl.